Improve your English fluency in 5 steps. Watch this video until the end and learn what you need to do to improve your English fluency. If you don't know me very well, hello, I am Teacher Prix, and I'm going to help you talk to anyone, anywhere, anytime in English. Make sure to subscribe to my channel because every week I post different kinds of English lessons to help you become a better and more confident English speaker. Yeah, so consider subscribing to this awesome channel. But let's go. English fluency, how to improve your English fluency. And guys, this video is aimed at pre-intermediate and intermediate students. It's not for a beginner, okay? Because I imagine that if you are here, it means you understand a little English, you can speak a little English, but there is more for you to do. And that's what I'm here for, to help you with that, So these questions are for you. Tell me, do you get stuck when you have to speak English? Do you get stuck when speaking in English? Do you make long pauses? You're speaking and then you pause. And then you pause again. Or use a lot of filler sounds or filler words. Do you do that? Do you find it difficult to form sentences orally? Let's say you have an opportunity to speak English. Is it difficult for you to make phrases in English because you spend too much time thinking of how to do it? Oh, it's be, it's I, a verb, what phrasal verb? Does that happen to you? Because if the answer is yes, then my friend, you are stuck at the intermediate, okay? You are stuck in the intermediate zone and we gotta change this. So if you answered yes to at least one question, then you are in the stuck zone and we can change that. We can improve your fluency. And I know that because I help my students do that. I have an academy, I call my students BSA, and basically guys, the people who join my program have one goal in mind: unlock their fluency. Feel confident, speak more clearly, more naturally. So with my students, and I will share some interesting recommendations here, I combine all the English skills to help my students advance so that they can speak confidently anywhere, anytime, and I know you can do the same. So here we go, step 1. Remember, I want you to improve your fluency. And fluency, well, speaking. Especially speaking. To do that, I want you to include reading and shadowing for different purposes. I imagine you already read, okay? But here we're going to include different things, all right? Now, guys, intermediate speakers tend to break sentences too much. Look at me speaking. I don't break sentences when I am speaking. Of course, I am a teacher, so obviously you expect that from me. But as an English student, as an intermediate speaker, many students tend to break sentences. They say the pronoun, then they stop. And then they say another word, and then they stop. Or they use the filler sounds, and they prolong the sounds. So what do I want you to do with this practice? To help you teach your brain to make your English flow more smoothly. There are other exercises. That's why this is a step 1. Stay with me until step 5, okay? So reading aloud and paying attention to your enunciation. I didn't use pronunciation. I said enunciation. What is to enunciate? Is the act of pronouncing words or parts of words clearly. Native speakers have enunciation problems. Sometimes they're fluent, but they tend to speak incorrectly parts of words. They speak too quickly, they don't make the proper movement, and consequently, they don't enunciate words properly. And with a reading exercise, you can improve that, okay? You can work on enunciating words more correctly. So my recommendation, and I will give you a practice suggestion, is to include reading aloud with your voice. And it's often, it's of course, it's mandatory to find an article for you to read and check the pronunciation of the words you don't know. Because if you read aloud and you create the pronunciation of words, then we have a problem. And for shadowing, you're going to use short scenes from TV series or movies. Okay, can be movies. So short scenes. What is a short scene? 2 minutes, 3 minutes, up to 5 minutes. Because you're going to work on shadowing. You're going to imitate the speaker you're watching. Therefore, it has to be short, because my goal is to help you eliminate the tendency to break the words, to break into spaces, long spaces, or to use the and intermediate students do that. And if I am not careful, I may do the same. Native speakers use filler sounds, filler words. They use it too, but we're not native speakers. Imagine you're at work, at a meeting, and you're constantly making that sound. That's not pretty, okay? Well, let me give you additional explanation. So I wanted to use this website, 50-word stories. So if you go to Google and you type 50-word stories website, you will find it. And what is this website all about? Stories up to 50 words. And I want you to practice reading those stories aloud and record yourself so that you can check. Can you understand the words? Do you sound a little confusing? Did you break, the pronunciation of the sentences? Did you separate them way too much? You will need to raise that awareness, okay? It's not only about reading. Oh, I'm going to read. Oh, Priscilla, you have received one new message. No, that's not enough. You will need to pay attention to what you read, to your enunciation. Are you cutting the sounds, parts of words? Pay attention to that. And this is a good website for you to use. You pick a story, read through the story, pay attention. Is there any word you don't know how to say? You don't know how to pronounce? Then you have to check it out. Checked it out. Got it. Now start reading. Okay? This is a wonderful practice to improve your English fluency. Now, the second recommendation is to use this YouTube channel. It's called Movie Clips. They have movie clips, TV show clips. Some of them are 1 minute, some of them are 2 minutes, some of them are 3 minutes. Mwah! Wonderful. You're going to pick one, activate the subtitles, and then you will practice shadowing. You will intentionally imitate the speaker or the speakers you are watching in that short movie clip. That's what you have to do, okay? You will imitate them and you will try as much as you can, as much as possible, to imitate the way they enunciate the words, the intonation, rising, falling, as much as possible. Moving on to step 2, learn to deal with pressure. Guys, intermediate, advanced, fluent, teacher, it doesn't matter. You're studying a language. It is about performance. And when it comes to performance, when it comes to delivering, we feel pressure. Oh, but I'm super confident. Everybody feels pressure. But it's the meaning you give to pressure. You need to learn how to manage your emotions if you want to improve your English fluency. So to improve your fluency, to speak more confidently, you will also have to work on emotional intelligence, because at the end of the day, you're challenging your performance skills. It's important to condition yourself to speak, because if you only receive information, let's put this into a context. You're a student, you study English alone, you don't have anyone to help you. I understand. This was my situation as well. And whenever you sit down to study, all you do is, okay, you watch videos like this one. Thank you very much. And you can help my channel by sharing this lesson with someone. You watch videos. You write things down. You listen. That's wonderful. You study new words. You play games on the internet. You play vocabulary games. But when it's time to speak, you don't, because you don't have anyone. Well, how do you expect to improve? Especially if you don't have anyone Well, now is the moment to step it up, to step up the game and practice your English speaking, because you need to learn how to deal with the pressure of speaking, because the pressure of putting the words out there will be different from the pressure of reading, writing, listening. They're completely different things. You're exercising different parts of your brain and different emotions. Reading is much easier, much more comfortable. Your study time cannot only be comfortable. You need a little discomfort to grow, okay? So what is my practice suggestion? Your speaking will only improve if you speak. Keep that in mind. Regardless if you have company or not, your English speaking will improve if you speak. If you don't speak in your practice, you're doing something wrong. Change the way you study. I teach that in my study plan cycle, link in the description of this video. But anyway, I wanted to search for advanced questions for conversations in English. Type this on Google, advanced questions for conversations in English. You will get many results, because sometimes it may be difficult for you to create questions, to think of, okay, what can I talk about? I'm alone. All right, go to Google, use the internet in your favor. This is free. Search advanced questions for conversations in English. Pick 5 questions, record yourself, and I want you to time. I want you to time your answer. Time, 1 minute. And as you time yourself, if possible, record yourself speaking. Create a group with yourself on WhatsApp. Record yourself answering the question. And you have only 1 minute. And leave it there so that you can see, I have 1 minute. I have 1 minute and you have to answer the question. This will imitate the pressure, because you don't have forever to answer a question. You don't have forever to pause and think. No, you have a freaking 1 minute to answer a question. Finished. Listen. Listen to what you said. Does it make sense? Did you cut the pronunciation of words? This is work you can do, and you can do alone. I do this every week because speaking is a skill I must practice. Now, is this enough? No. As I said, you record yourself. Finished. Now it's time to analyze. Listen to yourself. Can you do it better? Okay, I can do it better. Do it again. Set another timer, 1 minute, okay? And then answer the question again. This will help you deal with the pressure. Time is a very nice tool that we can use in our favor, especially if you are alone, okay? Step number 3, learn how to form complete sentences, not only short ones. This is a problem. Well, it's not that it's a problem, but if you're here, you want to advance. If you're watching this video until now, you want to improve your fluency. So it's essential, it's paramount that your sentences become a little longer, that you start to find words. That are lessons here on my channel, free lessons to help you connect your ideas. This is what makes you different from a beginner. And this is what makes you different from a fluent English speaker, the way you connect your thoughts, the way you connect your ideas. And it's important to practice that. This is grammar and speaking. At an intermediate level, if you want to improve, your grammar will have to level up. So here is the moment to practice forming longer sentences and connect your ideas in a more complex way. Both sentences here are correct. Both of them, okay? They're fine. But one is a little bit more polished, and the other one is a little bit more basic. Perfect. Beautiful. Fluency is communication, not perfection. But what I want you to understand is, in your practice time, you need to spend some time thinking of how to polish, how to advance simple things you are used to saying. This is what's gonna make you improve your English fluency, improve the way you communicate. So look at the example, not the one with the heart, the other one, not the one in green, the other one. I can't visit my family every weekend. but I like my family. Okay, that's good. Very good. But let's think of a way to improve, and you can do this as a homework. Find another way to improve this. There are many ways, endless ways to improve the way you would say this. Mine may not be the best, but it's just an alternative, just a suggestion. As much as I love spending time with my family, I'm not able to visit them every weekend. Ah, yes. Let's make it longer. More complex ideas. And this would be, depending on the situation, this would be a simple phrase. Okay, but more complex than the other one. Both are okay, are good. Could I switch instead of saying I'm not able and say I can't? Fine, no problems. What I'm trying to suggest is you will need to think a little more if you want to advance your English, okay? That's important. This is what you need to understand. You want to advance? Stop saying I like all the time. Is like wrong? No. Native speakers use it. But what native speakers do that you don't is to use different options. It comes naturally to them. It does not come naturally to us. We have to practice. We have to intentionally make the decision to choose something else. Think about that. Moving on to step number 4, but before that, if you're enjoying this lesson, I ask for your support. Share this lesson with a friend. Subscribe to my channel because every week I am here providing different ideas to help you become a better and more confident English speaker. And check out my study plan cycle in the description of this video, especially if you study alone and need some help. Now, step 4, watch real people, not only actors and actresses. Guys, I love Instagram. I don't like TikTok, quite honestly. I don't use it, but I love Instagram and YouTube. And one thing that we have nowadays is the so-called influencers, okay? I don't consider myself an influencer, but there are many wonderful influencers. You have to filter the type of influencer you follow. But the thing is, movies, they sometimes, not all movies, but movies tend to change the way people speak. Okay, the people in movies, the actors, the actresses, they tend to change the way they speak. It's either too much drama, too much drama, or too serious, or too soft, too romantic, or too perfect. Okay? Movies bring that because it's a movie, okay? So my recommendation is, all right, keep watching movies. And I am not generalizing. I'm not talking about all movies, all people. No, okay? It's a tendency. It's not everything. Movies are wonderful. But I recommend you follow some people on Instagram. Follow some American people, Canadian people, British people, influencers. People who talk about different things. Music, lifestyle, health, doctors. Follow them. Start listening to real people in their everyday lives when they make stories. Listen to them. Pay attention to the way they speak, their choice of words, how fast, how slowly they speak, the words they use. These are the real people you should follow. You should listen to them. It's a good idea. Is it the best idea? No, it's a good idea. You can use movies. You can use TV shows. Good TV shows, documentaries. But even in documentaries, they change the way they speak a little, because it's an interview style depending on the documentary you watch. So watch the real people. They will tend to speak much more freely on social media, okay? And finally, step number 5. It's not possible to improve your fluency if you don't improve your vocabulary. You have to improve the way you speak. And that is a combination of clear enunciation and the right speaking strategies, grammar. Okay, you need grammar, as I mentioned before, but also vocabulary. And a good thing for you to do is work on synonyms. Some words need to be replaced. Do you want to improve your fluency? Be honest, huh? Some words will have to go, okay? Or better, it's not that they have to go. It's just that some words should be used less frequently. It's all about the frequency. It's all about understanding that, of course, like is awesome. I like. You like? I like. I like this like, by the way. Huh? But you need to find alternatives. As I said before, this does not happen naturally to us. We need to focus. We need effort, okay? So the best way to boost your vocabulary is by learning from what you already know, okay? Is to learn. Is to learn from what you already know. So here, look at the example. Do you understand what I mean? Do you get the gist of what I'm saying? Options. Which one is better? Doesn't matter. These are good options. Can you say understand? Of course you can. It's a wonderful verb. Native speakers use it. But how about changing a little? And you will have to do this intentionally. You do this when you practice. You do this when you study to prepare for the world. Many people think they just read. No, you have to practice speaking. In your practice, you have to intentionally change the verbs you use, change the nouns you use, change the adjectives you use. Intentionally. Force, okay, I'm going to use these verbs today. I sometimes write down a list of words that I want to use, and I put them in front of me, and then I start speaking. And then I look at the paper, the piece of paper, and then I think to myself, okay, I have to use this word, and then I include the word. Because if I don't do this, if I don't put a reminder, I don't remember. And this will help me prepare for the real world, for the jungle, okay? Now, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Share it with your friends, but other than that, I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.